you said it's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
It's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turkey tonight, negotiations live in person.
Former world champion. He's now being talked about as an opponent for Anthony Joshua. Can that fight happen?
I think the fight can absolutely happen. I'm looking at it as Jake versus Joshua, which is quite biblical and it's quite impactful in many ways.
In boxing, impossible matchups have a way of turning into global spectacles. What once felt like fantasy can suddenly become reality, shaking the fight world to its core. And now, whispers of Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua are no longer whispers. They're headlines.
Active discussions, how far have things progressed? Is it something that you can see happening next for Jake and for AJ?
I think we're looking at it happening in Q1 of 2026 is kind of the current discussion. I think it's public that AJ was taking a little time away. I think he had a little surgery. So once he's ready and once Jake is ready, we're going to squarely focus on that.
There are some concerns, aren't there, within the boxing world about Jake fighting someone as powerful as AJ. How much of a worry is that? We saw what he did to Ngannou.
So power is obviously the last thing to go. So obviously AJ has a ton of power and he's still...
Reports now confirm that the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight is being targeted for January 2026. Multiple insiders claim talks are advancing quickly. Jake Paul's manager, Nakisa Badarian, admitted to opening discussions with Joshua's team and Eddie Hearn. Saudi boxing power player Turki Alalshikh is rumored to be backing the mega event. Venues in play range from Wembley to major arenas across the U.S. and Middle East.
Now, I know you're after a world title, but if that doesn't materialize, I know the Tommy Fury name has been floated about. Is there any other fighters who may not be world champions that you're looking to face?
Yeah, Anthony Joshua.
I think that's the main one that, we've talked a lot about is if it's not for the title, it's looking at Tommy, if he's reasonable, and then Anthony Joshua. And he's adamant that he wants to make that fight happen at the end of 2026.
Anything's possible. And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next year.
Fresh off his win against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Jake Paul has strongly hinted at a Joshua showdown, saying it's looking very likely. Paul revealed he and Joshua exchanged messages, with AJ suggesting the clash take place late 2025, setting the stage for an early 2026 blockbuster. His manager, Badarian, echoed this sentiment, confirming real discussions for what he called a biblical fight.
I want to fight Anthony Joshua, exclusive, because I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua. I know I will beat. Knocked out, right? Yeah. He doesn't have a chin, and he has no skill, and he's stiff. And I love you, Anthony. We're friends. But I want to fight you. I will beat Canelo. I will beat a lot of people. I will not beat David Benavidez.
Momentum only grew after Paul's public challenge. On his podcast, he directly called out Anthony Joshua, insisting that AJ was next. Following his latest victory, Paul doubled down, signaling his intent to shock the heavyweight world with what he described as his ultimate clash.
It's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
It's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turkey tonight, negotiations live in person, which are always fun. But it's going to happen, and it's just such an exciting fight that crosses the whole globe. When you ask a lot of people about certain boxers, they don't know their names. And everywhere I've been going, I just talk about Anthony, and I don't have, I'm global. So it's just such a good fight for the sport of boxing, and people will think I will die, but I will show them why I can rise against all odds and beat him.
Everyone's been wanting to see happen. Who will be the king of the United Kingdom? And who will be the queen of the United... Too soon? I'm praying that boxing doesn't happen to this fight, and what I mean by that is politics, people trying to take more money than they deserve. Fuck the money, get in there, make fucking history. This is one of the biggest fights that could happen over this past decade. Make it fucking happen, Eddie Hearn. Make it fucking happen, Frank Warren. Make it happen, Tyson. Make it happen, Anthony Joshua. We don't need fucking excuses. Don't let boxing ruin this fight. Get in the fucking ring and fight.
Paul argues that a showdown with Joshua would revitalize boxing by bringing fresh energy, new fans, and unmatched global attention. He has branded himself a breath of fresh air and pointed out that legends like Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Pacquiao recognize the buzz he generates. Paul claims his mainstream reach brings younger audiences into the sport, which he says desperately needs revival.
Discussions with AJ are as follows. We will be ready to fight November, December. We are planning life without Jake Paul. But if that is for real, of course, we take that fight in a heartbeat. I don't just think Jake's doing it just purely for publicity, but at the same time, will he actually do it? We'll find out soon, but we're up for it. But we can't just live in the world of waiting for Jake Paul. So we're going to fight December, maybe early January.
Eddie Hearn has acknowledged serious talk for a Joshua versus Paul clash, targeting early 2026. With Joshua set to return late 2025 after elbow surgery, the timeline aligns. Saudi powerhouse Turki Alalshikh's interest makes a fight even more likely to materialize.
Jake Paul could last 3 rounds with Anthony Joshua. 3, 2, 1. You've seen he's called him out, presumably.
Yeah, in 2026. I mean, that's like me saying I'm going to go for the gold at the 2028 Olympics for surfing. It's clickbait, but he might just be mad enough to have a go. It's very dangerous, very dangerous. I mean, you saw a guy who has the same size as AJ and who has much more ability than Jake Paul, which is Francis Ngannou. And you saw what happened to him, and that was scary for a while. So, yeah, we can joke about it, but I don't recommend it for Mr. Paul.
I like Jake. He's a good promoter, very good promoter. And he's a funny guy. He's got a great sense of humour, got good people around him, the key, so they know their business. There's a massive weight disparity, and that's a tough thing to give away, especially with somebody who's got so much physical advantage over him, and he's a young guy, AJ. He's not an old guy, he's a young guy. Will it happen? Who knows? Anything happens sometimes in our sport. But I think that is a big ask of Jake beating him. Big ask.
Where are you on this nonsense?
Where am I? I can't see it happening. I can't. Although yes, lots of money, so on and so forth. I can't see it. I just can't. It just obviously as someone who's been a unified heavyweight world champion going in against Jake, but it just doesn't sit right. Yeah, and it's like I'm also talking from a health and safety factor. It's like he's maybe a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's a very big, strong heavyweight, and if he turns it on, it's not just a risk of a knockout. It's a much bigger risk. So I can't see it.
John Fury, father of Tyson Fury, went blunt. Anthony Joshua will knock Jake Paul out easily, and if not, the fight must be fixed. Tyson Fury, however, shocked many by wagering £1 million on Jake Paul to knock Joshua out, labeling it a 50-50 fight. Jake Paul answered with confidence, offering £10 million on himself, igniting fierce debate across the fight world.
With AJ and Frank Bruno up there, the past, the current of it. So you're in now, son. You're in the deep end, and he's a good kid and a great fighter. I'm sure people are going to love being part of the journey.
Yeah, I know you're in a bit of a rush here, so I'll move on to Tyson Fury. Are you shocked that Tyson Fury announced he's going to come back to ring? And did you expect him to want Usyk rather than AJ?
I think that he's always going to want to avenge a defeat. I mean, look, he feels that he won both of those fights. You know, I thought they were very close. Don't think he won them, but you know, maybe he does fight Usyk again. We can't control what Fury does. I gave up trying to do that years ago. You've seen from the response online, no one's really interested in Fury against Usyk 3, and everyone wants the AJ fight. But the minute I come out and start saying this and saying that, it probably rolls us back. So what I'm going to say is good luck, Tyson Fury. Do whatever you want to do. Hopefully it involves giving the public the biggest fight the country's ever had.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did.
This fight may be dismissed as madness or embraced as history in the making. Can Jake Paul truly topple a heavyweight icon? Or will Anthony Joshua prove that experience crushes hype? Whatever the outcome, the world is watching, and boxing may never be the same again.